Stylish, damn near indestructible, and we even got the size right. Not bad for our first collaboration.
I still think it could have benefited from a cloak.
You think everything could benefit from a cloak?
I do not.
I hate to admit it, but somehow this ancient forge puts any arc reactor I've got to shame. Who would have thought mystically bound demon power would be so damn energy efficient? Or carbon neutral? Certainly got that new suit of yours done a lot faster than I expected. Speaking of, what's the verdict, boss?
Tell me about this demon. Why is it there?
Well, you would probably know more about that than me. I'm still working on a way to keep track of everything that goes bump in the night around here. Whatever they've got trapped down there, it's hotter than hell by a few thousand Kelvin, very pissed off, and really good at weaving synthetic microblends. But tools are just one part of the equation. You gotta know how to use them too. You were out, what, 300 years before we woke you from your eternal rest? I'm betting you have questions, so ask away, Hunter.
You must have an interesting origin story of your own.
Well, just your typical American boy. Pops was a founding member of the military-industrial complex. Mom, a famous socialite. Tragedy struck when I lost them both in a car crash, which turned out to be a hit from a rival corporation. I spent my early teens at MIT, trying to clear my head. I was all set to follow in Dad's footsteps as a war profiteer. Then one day, fortune shined on me, in the form of some errant shrapnel that lodged itself just above my heart. So I did what anybody in that situation would do. I built a supersuit and started fighting crime.
You seem well-adjusted enough, considering.
Exactly, which means there's hope for you yet. I find these apocalypse scenarios will save you tons of therapy.
I take it this new version is a technological marvel?
Impact-resistant carbon composites, some patent-pending alloy mesh, and a few touches from Dr. Spooky over there. And hey, the built-in communicator means we can talk to each other without sending a raven.
So it is a marvel, then?
Lightweight, nearly indestructible, and modular enough for future upgrades. Frankly, I wouldn't have used your old suit to wax the Mandarin's car.
Is all this magic a threat to your new technology?
It might surprise some people to hear this, but I do like some things with rules. Isotope decay, magnetic fields, and gamma oscillation make a lot more sense to me than Eye of Newt, bat wings, and a sprinkle of sunshine. At least they did before everything changed.
cannot help but feel partially responsible.
Well, I wouldn't take it personally. We were detecting changes in both magic and science months before you woke up. But yeah, things have definitely hit high gear since then.
Seen anything strange around here?
What, other than my roommate? Boom! Roasted! But on a more serious note, this place is legitimately haunted. Mirrors look back at you. My room rearranges itself. And worst of all, magic cats.
The great Iron Man is not scared, is he?
Let's just say I'll be more comfortable once I've studied the problem. I feel like I'm living in one of those paranormal investigation reality shows.
What sort of things are you doing in here?
Oh, that's right. You were out a while. Basically, we've got a gigantic demon inside the magic box here that provides near limitless power for whatever we might need. Sounds insane, but sometimes it's easier to just go with it.
I am impressed with your resourcefulness.
From where you're standing, I could see that. Still, I doubt I'll be branding one of these with the Stark Industries logo anytime soon.
Thanks for catching me up on things.
Anytime. Oh, and speaking of things, remember that creepy gamma goop you found from that hopped-up Hydra soldier? Well, I gave it a peek, and it explains a lot. If you have a minute, meet me at the anvil over there, and I'll walk you through it. I promise it'll be worth your time.
What is this? Intriguing. Interesting.
Hunter, your new attire suits you quite well. But how are you holding up on the inside? I know it's easy to look upon me and simply see the universe's utmost authority on all things mystical and macabre, Hunter. However, in addition to being Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, I am also your doctor.
You mean a physician of the medical arts? You jest.
I assure you, Hunter, I do not jest. They don't call me Mr. Strange, now do they? Except for Tony. Your awakening ritual was admittedly a touch more chaotic than I had originally intended, and well, after your violent encounter with Venom, my oath to Hippocrates compels me to check in with you. Simply put, how do you feel?
You lost much yesterday, Doctor. I am the one who should be asking you how you are feeling.
I appreciate that, Hunter. I admit I did not expect the child of Lilith to have the capacity for such empathy. And you're right, of course. I, for one, do not know if I will ever feel 100% again after the events of yesterday. I still can't believe what transpired, the sanctum, all that knowledge, Wanda, lost, swallowed whole by the black mouth of that foul venom creature. With all my resources, all my gifts, I should have seen this outcome spelled out in the sacred geometry of this universe years ago. But I miscalculated.
While we bask in the light of peace, our enemies conspire within our shadow.
You truly are your mother's child.
I would not know. I am simply paraphrasing Caretaker.
The point is understood either way. We must remain ever vigilant if we are to prevail. It's not just the Sanctum Sanctorum that was lost yesterday, it was my protege, Wanda. Is my charge, my responsibility, and I failed her. But I am determined not to let that happen with you, Hunter, which is why I am here to answer any questions you may have. Perhaps my wisdom may benefit you more than it has me thus far.
That creature on the roof. You have run into it before.
Unfortunately, yes. In the simplest of terms, Venom is an alien species living in symbiosis with a human known as Eddie Brock. He's something of a fixture in New York these days, but typically his hijinks are confined to harassing Spider-Man.
It sounds like Spider-Man is Venom's nemesis. Maybe he has some insight.
Of course. I have no doubt Spider-Man will prove to be an invaluable asset in the ongoing fight against both Venom and Lilith.
Tell me about your Sanctum's wards of protection. I have never heard of a protection spell that powerful.
In your time, I'm sure you encountered a variety of minor wards and protective spells. The Sanctum Sanctorum was shielded by one such incantation, but greatly amplified by the convergence of ley lines.
Will the wards ever provide the same protection that they had?
It may be possible to undo the damage, but now that a weakness has been exposed, I'll have to rethink my approach entirely. Tony did offer a military-grade laser protection grid, should I be so inclined to go that route.
How did Wanda come into your care?
Wanda's story is quite tragic, and perhaps not mine to tell. There was an accident on the Abbey grounds not long ago involving Agatha.
I feel like everyone is avoiding mention of Agatha.
I can't say I'm surprised, but I'm afraid it's really not my place. You should speak to Sarah about her when you're ready.
Let us talk later.
Visit whenever you like. It's not often I get to converse with a true legend.
Ah, I see. Curious.
Now, I doubt advanced gamma thermodynamics was a hot topic at Yield Demon Hunting School, so I'm just gonna give you the condensed version.
I appreciate that.
Closest I've ever seen to this substance is pumping through Bruce's veins. Part gamma accelerant, part unknown element. Calling it coil for now, given its unique atomic structure. Man, I love acronyms. This stuff is more volatile than Nick Fury on a Monday morning, but Hydra doesn't seem to mind.
They are using it to get stronger.
Exactly. A few drops would make your average salamander look like Fin Fang Foom. Thankfully, with a little help from Dr. Spooky and our haunted oven over here, I think two can play at this game.
You are not suggesting we start injecting ourselves with it?
No, nothing like that. Though I can see some future applications for my energy drink line. I was thinking we apply this stuff towards upgrading our equipment.
I like where this is going.
Just give me a little time here and I can whip up some pretty fun toys. How about we give Hydra a taste of their own gamma-powered medicine for a change? Ooh, new coil. Let's get to work. Analyzing. Got some upgrades for you, hot off the press. Or forge.
Come meet me in the yard. Welcome to the yard. At least that's what we're calling it these days. Caretaker put me in charge of your training. Too bad she didn't listen to me yesterday. Now that we know what we're up against, I think we can all use the practice. Any questions?
I did, but they are about you.
Right when it's time to train? From all Sarah told us about you, she never described you as lazy.
I learn faster if I understand the person who trains me.
I can respect that. Go ahead.
Can I ask about you?
I guess.
Is your name really Blade?
Is your name really the Hunter?
Yes.
Oh, really? Your mom, before she became the mother of demons, looked into your cradle and decided to name her firstborn child the Hunter.
That is how I understand it.
It takes all kinds.
So, is your name really Blade?
No.
What is it?
It's private.
Is it embarrassing?
No, the Hunter, but I only share it with friends.
You do not consider me a friend?
Not yet. Don't take it personally.
How did you become a Dampier?
You say that like I had a choice. I was born this way.
How is that possible?
A vampire bit my mother. Problem was, I was still in the womb. I'm lucky I was even born. Don't know if that's how it always is, but that's the way it went down for me.
How long have you been around?
I don't exactly know. I think of myself as mid-20s, maybe. I lost a lot of time. Much of the last century was a blur. I have occasional memories, almost like coming up for air before being yanked back down into the depths.
What happened?
I killed a lot of vampires. I hadn't lost my mind exactly, but I got into a rhythm and never stopped. Never had a reason to stop. Not until I met Caretaker.
And then?
She gave me a reason to stop.
What brought you to the Abbey?
Caretaker. About 10 years ago, she brought me back to the real world. Gave me a place to stay until I came back to myself.
Did she ever say why?
She said she thought I'd be able to kill more vampires if I was acting on more than just instinct. But I know it was more than that. She gave me safe haven here at the Abbey. Something I'd never known. Must have read half the books in the library by the time I headed out. So when she reached out and asked me to be part of this weird little club, of course I showed up.
Tell me about the Midnight Suns.
All right.
Why did you join? Vampire hunting is a solitary affair.
Guess I never found the right team.
Is that all?
No, but that's all I'll share for now. You really want to know? Put in the work. If I trust you, I'll have more to say.
Do you have any thoughts on the team as a whole?
I think we're the only ones aware of the danger Lilith poses to this world. And I think we're pretty green. But enough training will get us through it. Speaking of training, we doing this, or are we gonna keep wasting daylight?
I had more questions.
Of course you do.
What can you tell me about the others?
Nothing. Ask them yourself.
I'm not asking you to break anyone's confidence.
Fine. Which one?
Tell me about Nico.
She's the youngest, but she acts like she's in charge.
Why let her act like that?
She's usually right, and she keeps us on track. I didn't think we'd get along, but we wouldn't be the Midnight Suns without her.
What makes you say that?
She has a lot of heart, and that's why we let her. Who else?
What about Robbie?
He's exactly what he seems. Well, sort of. He's open with people, easygoing. Sometimes that comes across as dopey, but don't get the wrong impression. He's quick to make friends, and once he does, he's your friend for life. So don't let him down, or I'll hold it against you. Anybody else?
What do you know about magic?
Keeps to herself.
That is it?
She's a private person. Until she lets you in, that's all you need to know.
When does she let people in?
At her own pace. Respect that, and it'll happen faster than you think. Who else?
Tell me what you think of Sarah.
Well, there are a few people I tolerate, even less who I like. Sarah, I respect. She sees the big picture, and we're a part of it. I'd follow her to hell if I had to. And from what I understand, we may have to.
I am surprised she commands such respect.
I'm surprised that you're surprised. You know what she's like more than any of us.
I do.
Anybody else?
Nobody else.
Sure.
Thanks, Blade.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Ready for more? All right, then. Hunter.
Like the way you move out there, Hunter. Guess Dr. Strange picked the right supernatural demon hunter to resurrect. I'm Carol Danvers, but you can call me Captain Marvel. Kidding, Carol's fine. Just thought I'd throw a bone to the Avengers PR team. Not gonna lie, going a few rounds in Vampire Guy's Magic Thunderdome sounds like fun, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, not so much fish as that ginormous invulnerable sewer monster that swallowed the Sanctum.
Every lock has its key.
True, if only a man-eating alien demon monster hadn't eaten ours. But that got me thinking. Strange, Caretaker, and the rest of the funky bunch can try and magic their way through that shield all they want. If my time as a pilot taught me one thing, it's that sometimes you've gotta find a workaround. As in Hydra, they've gotta know the way inside. Steve's always said they aren't much for talking, but then again, I'm told I can be rather persuasive when I need to be.
Well, if there is any time to put your powers of persuasion to work, now is the time, Captain.
Trust me, Hunter, I'm looking forward to it. Hydra's been a thorn in me and Steve's asses for years. Can't wait to remove them for good. Find me in the war room when you're finished here. There's a few things we should discuss. Oh, and Hunter? Welcome back from the dead.
Nothing is certain these days, but these readings are too distinct to ignore. The gamma signature is...
Sorry, Bruce, we lost you. Did you say Gamma?
Yes,
Hang on a second. Come on, Tony. You managed to stream the Super Bowl to a Kree battleship 50 light years out. This should be easy.
Oh, we waited all year for that game, and you know the Skrulls would have spoiled it for us if they got the chance.
Well, can't you just... I don't know.
Work my magic again? See, that's the problem. This time I am working with actual magic, and let me tell you, it sucks.
The gamma signature is completely inverted. The daughter nuclei are being reabsorbed into the parent nuclei, which is impossible.
If the Gamma signature from the Sanctum is really that unique, Bruce, then couldn't we just...
Sorry, still working out a few gremlins in the system.
Try sunlight, and whatever you do, avoid water.
Oh, wait, you're being serious?
We should be able to track this new Gamma signature to its source then, right? I'd do it myself, but we seem to be having a little IT trouble today.
Please. Old Central here is ready to grind through that data like chum.
What exactly is a central?
CENTRAL. Cognitive encryption, net transmogrification. We'll figure it out later.
Sending coordinates now. Hope your gremlins enjoy gamma spectroscopy.
Well, he's been a little moody lately, ever since, the problem with the big old green guy.
I heard that.
Banner can't turn into the Hulk? Not sure if we should be frightened or relieved.
That makes two of us.
Oh, hey. Come on. Happens to everyone. Well, okay, not everyone.
Nice work, Bruce.
I know that place. Creepy abandoned warehouse in the bad guy part of town.
My favorite kind. Anybody up for paying it a visit?
Definitely.
Aw, see that? Teamwork goosebumps.
Find me when you're ready.
Multi-million-dollar piece of experimental technology, and she kicks it.
It was just recently that the Hudson Yards Development Restoration Association purchased this entire block. I'll let you think about that one for a minute.
trench coat, sunglasses at night, brooding personality. Something tells me these midnight warehouse raids are pretty normal for you.
Very.
This area...
Occasionally. Good for a late night snack. The falafel place down the road stays open.
Don't worry. This is a different portal to a different location. One of these days, I'll join you on a mission.
Gamma signatures and unstable isotopes aren't really in my wheelhouse, so we'll be patching Dr. Banner through from Avengers Tower once you reach the other side.
Oh, right, sure. Only maybe next time say it less vampire-y.
Almost feels like cheating with you two on our side.
Probably can scratch a band end off the description of this place. You seeing this, Bruce? Getting all sorts of weird down there.
Johann Fenhoff. That hack. I heard he was dead. Well, hoped is perhaps a more accurate description.
Calls himself Faustus now. Hydra's resident mad scientist.
Not just Hydras. Liliths. That's magic coming from those crates. I can feel it.
Yeah? How about gamma radiation? You feeling that too? Because that's some pretty evil-looking Hydra tech down there.
Gamma and magic.
I need you to use your science brain on this one, Bruce.
We need to approach this situation carefully. Combining those energies is an explosive proposition at best. Think scalpel, not hammer. Stealth, not strength.
Yeah, I don't do stealth.
Kill them.
I always considered Faustus a bit of a crackpot, but his fundamental science must be sound. The device would have surely exploded otherwise after your display, Carol.
Learned it by watching you, Bruce.
Should get the blood pumping. Playtime's over. And I thought Man-Thing was ugly.
One more.
Leave some for the rest of us.
Take this.
never been one to buy into the science of magic, but the data I'm seeing is hard to ignore. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio.
An alien hybrid and a resurrected demon hunter, right?
Your fate is sealed. Hail that!
You asked for it. Sounds to me like they just missed their mama.
I'm on it. Seems like it'd be cheaper just to replace you guys with robots. I bet Tony would cut Faustus a deal.
Go, now, quickly!
Let's go, go, go!
The perfect opportunity to field test Mother's device.
Watch out!
Get her.
For the record, Bruce, I did not smash that thing.
Noted, Carol. Perhaps you might direct all that energy towards your newfound adversaries instead. And the mysterious cargo they're attempting to escape with?
I feel more like myself every day.
Come get it. Don't blink.
Interesting.
One less thing to worry about. Approximately 16,342 more to go. I suggest starting with the remaining Hydra forces in the vicinity.
We will never forsake her.
Someone feel a breeze.
Preliminary analysis of the blast confirms high levels of gamma and various unknown energies.
Unknown to you. There is dark magic at work here. You must not let Hydra escape with it. Weak, even for Hydra.
Not a problem.
What's your strength?
It's about... That looked like it hurt.
The enemy has the upper hand. My time to shine. I was born for this.
It will all be over soon.
To be crystal clear, we won't be able to recreate Faustus's experiment or track potential future variants' gamma signatures without a baseline resonant sample from his initial occult catalog.
Got it. Stop the truck. Ready up. Now they're really in trouble.
About time. Give the mother my regards in hell.
Come back and regroup.
Lucky shot.
These delays can be quite frustrating. Infuriating, even. I suppose by now I'd normally be tromping through the warehouse, hurling the puny truck at the moon.
Don't worry, Bruce. I've got a pair of torn purple pants with your name on them. Watch this.
We've done it!
What is this thing?
Bad guy crate. Full of bad guy stuff.
I know those symbols from the time of the first hunt. That glyph means barrier. That one, almighty. Something, something. Gods and demons.
So a spooky bad guy crate.
Very spooky. Designed to contain powerful magic. Be careful.
Got it. Don't cross the streams.
Never do. How about we get this thing back to the Abbey and see for ourselves? Nice job out there, kid. I mean, I didn't get Hydra bombed until my 10th run with the Avengers.
Kid, you do know that I'm a good 3 centuries older than you, right?
Then you've got a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, Abbey tournament tonight.
Sure about that? Last one got a little heated.
The eternal spirits of vengeance take technical fouls very seriously, especially in the fourth quarter.
Forget it. Tonight is movie night.
It is always movie night. Exactly.
Wow, out of jail again? Who made this game? Wilson Fisk?
Well, if parking is free, clearly no one from Manhattan.
You know what they say? All work and no play is how we ended up with Ultron. Come on. You should hang out.
I should rest. Another time. Let me see. How did this work again?
Come on, Hunter, I know you're awake in there. You just replied to me. Good. You answered. Getting hard to keep finding ways to say open door around here. And despite what Robbie says, I don't think the staff of One speaks High Elven. Blood magic stuff. Cool room. Spacious. Aw, is that bed for Charlie?
Yes?
So, if you're planning on giving me some sort of brooding code of the stoic warrior speech, I'm immune. Just ask later, Magic. From what I just saw out there, whatever crazy ancient living weapons stuff Caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you. We got a lot of work to do.
Work?
Yeah, talking to people, making friends, basic human stuff. Or quasi-human. You're a Midnight Sun now. One of us.
Nico, I was just Hydra bombed. I could use some rest.
You and me both. Been bad dreams every night for me lately. I, keep seeing Wanda. She... Never mind.
I will meet you outside.
Yes! I'll go nuke us some popcorn and you pick out a movie. Oh, and it may just be the two of us. The others went outside, needed to cool off. Really need to hang a fan over that forge. Or maybe crack open the casket of ancient wonders a little? I'm kind of getting the impression Doctor Strange is a little bit of a hoarder. I mean, just because it's magical junk doesn't mean it's not junk. You know what they call an artifact that only works in a pocket dimension once every 10,000 years? I don't know either, because I don't hoard junk. I know this entire situation's gotta suck for you. Not just the whole resurrected, chosen one thing. I get why facing Lilith won't be easy. I was 15 when I found out my mother was capital E evil.
sorry to hear you went through that.
It was bad, but I learned to deal with it. It's the only way forward, right? Look, I'm glad my mother is gone, but yeah, at times I just want to hear her voice again. Some days I'd give anything to make that happen. Makes me hate her even more.
Lilith gave birth to me, but Caretaker was my true mother.
Right, so your adoptive mom raised you to kill your birth mom. You'll fit in perfectly. Enough about her crappy parents. You missed out on decades of good movies. It's my solemn duty to fill this knowledge gap with the best examples I can provide. So, the first thing you need to know, the glowing briefcase is a metaphor. Can we do it again? So, what did you think of the movie?
I understood more than I should.
How? You've been dead for 3 centuries.
I'm not so sure I was dead. Not exactly. I recall a deep slumber, not the void. I dreamt.
Of what?
Of everything. Much of this world is familiar to me. I know it from my dreams.
That's not creepy at all. So, do you know everything?
No, think of it like this. I know what a car is, but I have no idea how to drive.
You're up to date, but not omniscient. Then I'm guessing you don't know much about me.
Just what you shared earlier.
You're always free to ask. Like, what's the staff of one? Or who were the runaways?
I had some questions about your staff.
Sure. But first, the basics. The staff of one interprets words or phrases as spells, but it can only cast a spell once. No repeats.
If each magical effect is unique, do you worry you will run out of words?
Not really. I only use the staff's power when I truly need it. The rest of the time, I rely on more conventional means. Like, you know, magic.
I had some questions about your old team.
The runaways? Sure thing.
Were you all heroes who banded together?
No, we were normal kids. We saw each other once a year when our parents got together to reminisce. And then we found out 2 very disturbing things. First, our parents were supervillains who sacrificed children to evil gods. Second, each of us had some sort of powerful birthright. Our parents wanted us to follow in their footsteps.
What did you do?
We ran, but eventually we realized only the 6 of us could stop our parents and their dark gods, so we faced them and stopped them from destroying reality as we know it. You know, typical kid stuff.
Who was on the team?
At first, Chase with his mad science gear, Molly, our pint-sized powerhouse, Carolina, the solar-powered sweetheart. Gert had a telepathic link to Old Lace, a genetically engineered Deinonychus from the 87th century. I handled the blood magic, though I didn't understand it much. And Alex, well, we don't talk about Alex.
Where are your friends now?
Molly attends Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Carolina left Earth to marry alien nobility. Gert, she didn't make it. After Gert passed, Chase and I had a falling out. The last I heard, he and Old Lace are living at his family home in LA. As for Alex, he chose his side, and it wasn't ours. He died with our parents.
I had some questions about your staff.
Go for it.
Can you tell me how the Staff of One functions?
It's, blood magic, so my own blood is required to summon it. You wouldn't believe how many adhesive bandages I go through each year.
What about the words you speak?
They come true. Kind of. And not always the way I expect. It's like making a wish, but you can never make the same wish again.
I should get going.
Good timing. Looks like caretaker wants to speak with you, and wow, I should get to bed. Time flies when you're hanging out.
I'm glad to see you're using your free time productively. Lilith is no less aggressive now than she was 300 years ago. If anything, she's become even more brazen with age. Looks like you're finding your way around. Maybe making some new friends.
I was planning on getting some rest, but...
Things are moving at a frantic pace. For all we know, I'll be landing a jet on the roof with Mr. Stark this afternoon. Not quite like it was in the good old days.
I remember many sleepless nights and blood-soaked days. Always on the hunt.
I'll give you that. But there were times back then I wouldn't trade for anything. With both you and...
Agatha. Where is Agatha?
I am sorry. I should have had this talk with you much sooner. But you should know... Agatha... She's no longer with us.
What? That is impossible. She was so...
Fierce, indomitable, or maybe just kind to a fault.
You do not have to do this.
Thank you, but I do. I haven't spoken to anyone about what happened. And more so than anyone, you deserve to know. Agatha died in an accident caused by her protege, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. The Midnight Sun's latest recruit, a powerful spellcaster in her own right. Perhaps the most powerful Agatha and I had ever seen. Wanda's abilities were growing. Too quickly for my liking. Agatha was determined to help her control them. I tried to caution her, but she would not listen. There was an incident. An accident, I'm sure, but...
Agatha was killed.
Yes, incinerated in an instant. Not even ash to remember her by. The others were heartbroken, as was I. But I also saw the danger, the threat, if Wanda's powers were left unchecked. So I did what needed to be done. I sent Wanda away, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to study under Dr. Strange. I know the others still harbor a great deal of resentment towards me for it.
I do not envy you. That must have been a difficult decision.
It's my job to make tough calls. I'm not popular for it, I know. But strong leadership requires risking being unliked. Wanda, Agatha. It seems we have lost them both now. I conjured a small shrine to Agatha's memory on the grounds, hoping to find some solace, a way to move forward. You should pay your respects. Maybe you'll find what I couldn't. Good night, Hunter.
Agatha!
You always did have the most remarkable eyes, Hunter. Just like your mother's. Maybe that's why you're the first.
The first?
To commune with the spirits, of course.
Is this a trick of some kind? Because I am not amused.
No, it's no trick, dear. You're just the first to see me. By now you've heard I had a bit of trouble with my corporeal body. I actually find it quite liberating.
You are dead.
Always straight to the heart of things. That's my Hunter.
You seem strangely at ease about this whole thing.
After 1,000 years of living, you learn to take things in stride. Even death.
And what have you been doing all this time?
Meet me by the cave just over there. You know the one.
The Bloodgate? Caretaker always told me to stay away from that place.
I think we can safely lift the veil on a few more of our secrets. What's the worst that can happen? Ominous-looking portal is known as a blood gate, and you're the only one among us who can pass through it.
Bloodgate? Caretaker's handiwork?
Yes, Sarah got a little overprotective after the accident with Wanda. It's become something of a habit for her.
I have noticed that.
What lies beyond is meant for you, as much as it ever was for her. Assuming you're up to the challenge, that is.
You know I am.
I do. But it's always polite to ask.
Whoa.
Hunter, hello. There was a time when the blood stood within these celestial halls to prove their worth. This particular arena belongs to a goddess who often favored Sarah, Ashtor.
Sarah, Caretaker, was here?
Nothing ever comes easy, dear. The Elder Gods felt their descendants needed to earn their blessings, which is why they created these trials to begin with.
Trials? I should know.
This entire realm exists for that purpose. Trial by combat, with no chance of outside interference. Yes, but I may have found a loophole they never considered. Why don't you try summoning your four-legged friend?
Charlie?
The old gods are responsible for a great many creations, including your faithful companion. I think even they tend to forget that. Good luck, dear. As the goddess of balance and order, Ashtor was sometimes called the giver of justice. You can expect a fair fight. Or at least
was something. You were too weak for this fight. Leave some for the rest of us.
Compared to our girl, these hellhounds are nothing but mindless beasts. Don't hesitate to strike. They certainly won't.
This looks like a
Sarah was right to be wary of this place. But it's your birthright, and I think after everything you've been through, you can handle it now. The two of you, as well as your mother, are the last of your kind, the blood. Your lineage follows an unbroken line to the old gods themselves. And if you call upon them, you might just find they're actually listening. They won't work miracles for you, but their blessings can be quite useful in the right circumstance. Why don't you ask the goddess Ashtur for her aid in dealing with that barrier over there?
blessings of the goddess.
After all this time, it's still just as beautiful. as the first time I laid eyes on it. It's hard to believe Lilith and Caretaker brought this place all the way from Transia. Of course, it was no coincidence that they wound up so close to Salem. This area is particularly attuned to the forces of magic. That's why the Elder God's influence was so prevalent here. And why our sanctuary here has remained all but impregnable over the centuries. And now I'm rambling on like an old sorcerer supreme. Why don't you come see me in the library tomorrow night? Oh, and let's keep this just between the two of us for now. I'm afraid Sarah, Caretaker, isn't ready to see me yet. Good night, Hunter.
Is this thing on? Hunter, please come to the forge at your earliest convenience. Again, that's Hunter to the forge. Thank you. Strange out.
Hunter, just in time. His royal weirdness and I were deciding what to do with that nasty little Hydra gift box you found.
Ah, yes. The spooky crate?
The very one. Though it is far from any mere container, I assure you. I am detecting powerful emanations from inside. If this is a sign of what Hydra is after, I fear we are all in grave danger.
My offer still stands. I could fly the thing up and nuke it in orbit. Only way to be sure.
Or we could open it, Tony, and perhaps use the mystical energies I sense inside to our advantage.
Yeah, I heard a "we" in there. Green goopy gamma serums are one thing. I'm not opening boxes full of mummy curses.
You don't have to. Hunter, if you'll allow me.
Your second funeral, boss.
If Hydra is now working to acquire mystical antiquities, then our situation is very dire indeed. We need to find a way to gain the upper hand.
And you think you can do it with whatever's in the container?
Tony has one of the greatest scientific minds that I've ever seen. I, of course, have an unparalleled understanding of the mystic arts. I have no doubt that we can find a way to research whatever we find in there and have it work in our favor. I just wonder what it could be.
Do you think this will be enough to give us an edge?
I hope so. Whatever it is, it's quite powerful. I'm relying on my instincts here, but truly that's all I have to rely on until I can find a way to access the Sanctum's archives again.
That seems a bit risky.
Right now, with the Sanctum out of my reach, I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Metaphorically, that is. If I can find items to research, I can give the Midnight Suns every possible advantage over Lilith and her disciples.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Me too, Hunter. Now, all this talk is going nowhere unless we can get this container open and study what's inside. Step up to the anvil, Hunter. It doesn't bite. Oh, and I was just about to binge watch my stories. By the hoary hosts of Hoggoth, I can hardly believe it.
What? Is it worse than you expected?
No, it's totally unexpected. It's the Eternity Dagger. This was in a place of honor in my bedchamber in the Sanctum for years. The Sanctum Sanctorum is no common domicile to be burglared. These barbarians have no idea what they possessed.
Or perhaps they did. Maybe these artifacts are exactly what Faustus and my mother were after to begin with.
A distressing thought. If they had my dagger, then who knows what others of my priceless possessions have passed through their greedy fingers. The cube of nothingness. The tear of Profia, and most worrisome of all.
Your toothbrush? You, had a little coffee thing going on this morning with your breath?
Oh, Tony.
Sorry. Doc's right, Hunter. I drank 3 glasses of holy water just to walk through the Sanctum's front door. Place is like a doomsday vault for all sorts of supernatural nastiness. We need to put a lid on this mess. Pronto.
I believe Carol is already working on it.
At last. Now that this artifact has been returned to its proper owner, we shall see if we can make use of the mystic forces contained within. Fascinating.
Remind me again why you haven't digitized this stuff already? This is going to take way longer than it has to.
There's something to be said of the careful study that can only be achieved by examining the physical documents themselves.
Oh, so it's a Zen thing, then? You become one with the old book and it shares its secrets with you?
Always quick to mock the things you don't understand.
Oh no, I'm honestly interested this time. Maybe I can adapt your technique into something normal people can use.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
All right, let's get started, Dr. Spooky. What have you got for me, boss? How long did you say you were Take a look. Take your pick, Hunter. I feel like I could automate this process and take myself out of the loop here.
Until next time.
Hey, Hunter. Got a sec to spare?
moving into the Forge, Hunter? You've been here more in the past few days than I have since... ever. The Forge is pretty badass, but the creature trapped inside riles up my own inner demon. Speaking of, there's something you should know about me.
You are bonded with a spirit of vengeance?
Damn, you're good. How could you tell?
You are not the first spirit of vengeance to join the Midnight Suns. I fought beside another, just a few days... 3 centuries ago.
Oh man, sometimes when I have crap to work through, I like to get my blood pumping. Why don't we hit the yard for a sparring session? I know Sparky's excited to meet you.
Sparky?
That's what I call my spirit of vengeance. His real name is something you'd see written on a symbol, but with like 12 apostrophes. Also, he's not allowed inside after the incident with caretaker Sumerian Sofa.
I am the Scourge of the Lilin. My name is whispered in fear across the 7 hells. When I fight, I make war, not make-believe, Robbie. Be sure your Sparky is ready to do the same.
Damn, Hunter! You talk the same kind of smack that he does. Okay, let's do this. I'll get Blade to set things up. Won't take a minute.
I will head to the yard. When you and Sparky trade places, what does he look like?
He's the guy with the flaming metal skull and hellfire chains. Kinda hard to miss.
Hunter, ready to get your burn on? I'm talking training with Ghost Rider.
Spirits of vengeance train the heart. Like playing with fire.
Maybe you should be the spirit of vengeance.
Ready for more?
Hunter, report to the war room. We've got a mission. Hey, you.
You called for me, Captain?
Keep telling ya, Carol works too, but yeah, I did. Now that Tony's finally starting to get a handle on his gremlin problem, I've been able to put Central to good use. Got a lead on some particularly gnarly Hydra operations happening in the city. But we need to move fast if we want to intercept them in time.
Then let's get going.
My thoughts exactly. There's just one problem, though. We seem to have lost our gatekeeper, Magic.
Lost?
Well, I updated her on the mission. She said something I can only assume to be a prolific swear word in Russian and disappeared. Literally. And with no magic...
There is no passage to New York, or anywhere for that matter.
Now you see my problem.
Do not worry, Captain. I will locate and alert her of the team's needs.
There's that can-do, get-it-done, old-timey prophesied savior of humanity attitude I was hoping to see today. Still, you better hurry. Not sure how long Hydra will remain in their current position.
Then I shall make haste.
Yes, you hasten as much as you can, Hunter. Not much more I can tell you, Hunter. Though I did hear her mutter something about Wanda right before she poofed away. Maybe that helps.
Thanks, Captain. I shall find her.
Got a minute, Hunter? Crazy world you woke up to, Hunter. Hydra running around causing trouble, apocalypse prophecies, the Bronx.
It is indeed, Daywalker.
And that op against Faustus. The way Captain Marvel just absorbed that bomb. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Are you trying to make a point with this?
No, I mean, I just wanted to catch up.
I see. Well...
She's something else, though, huh?
Excuse me?
Smart, quick-witted, fearless. Hell, she even glows.
And do you find all of your allies equally impressive?
Yes. No. Wait. What are you trying to say?
Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What in the hell are you talking about?
It is Shakespeare for you fancy her.
I do not. I respect her as a fellow warrior.
The same way you respect Tony or a caretaker?
Hell no. It's... Never mind.
And therefore is Winged Cupid painted blind.
Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go kill some monsters or something. Let's just keep this a chat to ourselves for now.
Have you seen...
No.
All right.
I usually just wing it out there.
Robbie, have you seen magic?
No, but there were some pretty crazy energy flashes coming from the dorms a few minutes ago. It usually means she wants to be left alone. Trust me on that.
Thanks, Robbie.
Looks like the new suit checks out. That's a mean left hook you got too. Think I swallowed a little brimstone on that one.
Hunter?
This room belonged to the Scarlet Witch, did it not?
Wanda. It belongs to Wanda. Let me guess. You are to ask me to do the one thing the others value me for. Opening their precious portal. Well, I am in the middle of something. Come back later.
It is never easy to lose a comrade. I know this too well.
We did not lose Wanda. We let her go. Before any of this started. Wanda's first grimoire. Agatha gave it to her when she was teaching her witchcraft, the dark arts. She was trying to help Wanda control her powers. She would never let me read it. So now I read it.
I do not suppose there are any spells in there that will banish Lilith and save the world?
Hard to say. These incantations appear to have been written for Wanda alone. Maybe a world without Wanda is one we are not meant to save. I know what she's going through. To come face to face with true evil itself. To be dragged to some hell dimension so hot that your soul is scorched black. Your heart so filled with soot that it chokes out all the bright parts of you. Until you are just a dark thing of smoke and ash. I cannot let such a fate happen to her.
Then put the damn book down and help me get her back.
You are nothing if not direct. Not to mention unrelenting. I can respect that. And perhaps you are not entirely incorrect. Okay, I will open your damn portal. It is times such as this that I wish someone else here could drill holes through space and time. Perhaps Dr. Strange should spend less time tinkering with Tony Stark in the Forge and focus more on his magic. No matter. I will be there when you are ready, Hunter. Goodbye.
take it you found our gatekeeper. Then let me explain what's going on. When Hydra isn't preoccupied with world-ending scenarios, they spend a lot of their free time terrorizing the citizens of New York through various low-level operations. It's fairly routine stuff for heroes these days, and worst case, we'll still get some fresh intel in the process. Why don't you check the mirror table and see what we've got on our plate? I did the math. It would actually be faster for me to fly.
So what is stopping you?
Shockwaves will shatter most of the glass in my approach path.
Ah, that is not good.
Yeah, I try to be considerate.
We're sending you straight to the coordinates Captain Marvel identified in New York. Dr. Banner has confirmed that the gamma signatures in the area match those of Faustus's weapon. We need to recover whatever intel we can if we're going to find out exactly what's going on down there.
We will never forsake her.
Looks like Captain Marvel was right on the...
Heroes. A single world-ending calamity is never enough to satiate your appetite for destruction. You insist on meddling further, forcing our hand yet again.
Oh, that's just lovely. Faustus has a radio. I'm assuming whatever Hydra is attempting to flee with on that chopper is our target. I suggest we stop it and see for ourselves.
I will see all that you have done.
Ready up!
That'll work. It was your turn. Nice.
It's about time!
Forever in service. As ordered.
Someone here agrees. I have spotted enemy reinforcements.
Get ready now.
You don't even know what it is you're pursuing. The Gamma Disruptor narrowly escaped within our last encounter. Was only the beginning.
Show yourself to me, Faustus, and I will open more than your eyes.
Such ferocious spirit. You truly are your mother's child, Hunter.
Hell awaits. Only the innocent.
Don't try that again.
I've been waiting.
That would stop me.
More souls come for judgment.
The last thing we need is for that pompous buffoon to win today. Stop that chopper, please.
With pleasure.
Suffer.
I am impressed. Welcome assistance.
Take this.
For Hydra. For victory.
You don't know who you're messing with.
You know what to do.
Our loyal soldiers aren't the simple punching bags you've come to expect, are they? Somehow these humans, these mere mortals, dare to stand against ye fearsome gods. All is possible with Mother!
You've grounded the helicopter. Excellent. Now you'll need to clean up the rest of Hydra's forces.
Taking the shot. I am not sure I can keep this up.
Well done. Seems like that's the last of them.
Last? There are more heads to the Hydra than you will ever comprehend, heroes. This is a minor setback at most.
Well, at least we don't have to listen to you any longer today. I consider that alone a victory. Well done. If Hydra wasn't paying attention before, they are now. Stay sharp.
Count on it. Feeling a chill, Magic?
You could say that. I've been staring at the night sky trying to figure it out.
Figure what out?
You're observant, Hunter. You tell me.
You overestimate my observational abilities.
Seems I have. Funny, you are the only living child of the Mother of Demons, yet I still have a greater connection to the darkness.
The darkness?
When I was holding the trans-dimensional door for you back there, I sensed something was at the docks with you. Something dark and familiar.
What did you see, Ileana?
I did not see, I said. I sensed something there. But that's not the only thing I sensed today.
Oh?
Something has shifted in Limbo, but I cannot quite put my finger on it. All I know is that whatever is happening is also strangely familiar to me. And when all you knew was darkness and despair growing up, that warm, fuzzy feeling of familiarity is not just a warning sign, but an alarm bell.
I know what you mean. Danger is something I am a little too comfortable with myself. Reminds me of my mother. There is almost a comfort in it.
Yes, you understand. Not many can. I'd like to be left to my thoughts now, Hunter. I still have a lot of thinking to do, while I try to make sense of what I felt at the docks and the energetic shifts that ripple through Limbo. I will let you know if I do.
You're the best girl. You know that, right?
Hey, for someone they just dug up?
Whenever we foil Hydra's plans, an angel gets its wings.
Robbie, what was most important to you before you were pulled into this life?
Same thing as after. My little brother Gabe. He may be on the other side of the country, but he's what keeps me going.
Gabe must be proud of his big brother.
Yeah, he is. Oh, you mean for what we're doing here? Nah, he doesn't know that part of my life.
You ever going to tell him?
I don't know. Maybe one day? For now, he just needs Robbie in his life.
He is a lucky kid.
Thanks, Hunter. Always great to hang with you, Hunter.
I'm glad to see you're getting comfortable with the words of power, Hunter. If you're going to continue our little investigation of the Abbey, they'll be vital to your success.
Investigation?
A side project, but a potentially transformative one. With my blessing, Wanda was working to uncover what may be the most powerful.
Just what in the hell do you think you're doing in here?
Standing in the library?
I've given you free rein so you could get back on your feet. But I never thought you'd pull something like this.
What is it you think I am doing, exactly?
Don't be coy. It does not suit you. I told you how hard it's been since we lost Agatha. Instead of letting it rest, you decide to reopen the wound?
Oh, Sarah, I never thought of this place like that.
Of course you didn't. And now, it's done. Why should I ever stand in your way?
That anger wasn't meant for you, dear. You know that, right? Don't hold it against Sarah.
She may try to mask her feelings, but you know she is struggling with what happened. Why are you hiding from her?
For most people, the captivating relationships of their lives are formed over a matter of days and years. Sarah and I spent centuries together exploring this world, fighting the darkness, watching cities and even nations form and then crumble. And yet we persevered together.
You still have not answered my question.
It may be difficult to understand, but she needs this time. Sending Wanda away, sealing the library, that elaborate memorial she conjured up, she didn't waste any time trying to bury what happened.
You are right. I do not understand.
It isn't up to me to reveal myself. It's up to her to accept what happened and allow herself to grieve. When that happens, we'll see each other again, but not before.
I trust you will do what is right for Sarah. So, what is it you are looking at here?
Yes, we should get back to the real reason I asked you to meet me here. Wanda's journal. The Abbey grounds have a great deal of history. Many of its secrets remain hidden, even after all this time.
Even to you?
Even to me. Wanda had taken to exploring the grounds in search of a strange energy we both sensed. Knowing that Sarah had no intention of waking you to investigate, Wanda felt it was up to her to take your place. Of course, being the clever girl that she is, her notes are written in an ancient, transient cipher that I've only just begun to understand. Have a look at the first entry. I'm sure it still seems a bit cryptic, but Wanda was definitely onto something. If you remember my altar, that's where she was conducting her experiments.
An investigation that involves experiments. Why do I feel like you are going to get me into trouble?
Since when has that ever stopped you? Let's meet out at the altar. I'll try to do a better job of explaining from there. Charlie will show you the way if you've forgotten.
Oster smiles upon me.
Like most things on the grounds here, there's more to this place than meets the eye. Do you remember the words I taught you as a child?
Are you going to make me say it?
Humor an old, dead woman.
Hocus pocus.
You haven't lost your touch, dear. The words may be simple, but these plinths won't appear for just anyone. Each represents one of the basic elements, their power activated only by the elemental rods they would normally be holding.
And where are the elemental rods now?
Scattered to the wind, unfortunately. A side effect of Wanda's experiments here.
Let me guess.
That's right. I want you to find the missing rods and return them here. Hopefully, as I decipher Wanda's journal, her notes will aid in the search.
But you have not actually told me what the greater purpose is here. What are we doing this for?
All in good time, dear. After what happened with Wanda, I'd rather you take things slowly. In fact, I don't want you overthinking this little project. There's no rush, and you don't have to help if you don't feel like it. But there is one more thing before I head back to the library.
An arcane key?
Just a little something. A token for your efforts so far. The key can be used to open that chest nearby. Like so many other oddities around here, those chests tend to appear before those who deserve them most. Make yourself that person.
That seems intentionally vague.
It's more fun that way, isn't it? I'll be in the library working on the translations if you need me, dear. Good luck.
ostracize my...
Elemental rod. I should take this back to the altar.
This looks like a fairy ring. There are cracks in this wall.
Magic still holds. Jeremiah Kane, another host of the Spirit of Vengeance. I wonder if he was as conflicted as Robbie is about being a Ghost Rider.
This is which sign? Fascinating. Blessings of the goddess. Interesting. Ah, I see. I was always drawn to this place as a child, but somehow I had almost forgotten about it. Curious. Was I ever really this innocent? Maybe before I started my training. Perhaps a witch from the Salem Coven made this. She believes in our purpose. My old fort. Caretaker was furious when she found I had built this. I wonder what she was really afraid of. I never got the chance to truly know my mother. Only the monster she became. The standing stones. There is powerful magic at work here. I need to find the next moon seal. The great seer known as Endra Moore is buried here. Much like Nico, her powers came dangerously close to crossing the line, but she was among the most loyal of the Midnight Suns. That is something. Caretaker hardly spoke of him, but I like to imagine my father was a great hero whose spirit protected these woods. Intriguing.
I should have known you'd wind up here eventually. You were somehow always here as a child.
If only I had known him. And still you masked even this from me. My own father's grave?
It wasn't you I was hiding it from. I've been making a lot of apologies to you lately. Now, they probably don't mean that much. But I am sorry, Hunter. Lilith's relationship with your father went against our ways, our purpose, or so I believed at the time. It was the Elder Gods themselves who first breathed life into us. Human notions like falling in love couldn't possibly be part of their plan.
And then you met Agatha.
If only I'd realized it sooner. I might have been a little kinder towards him, especially at the end.
What happened?
A great sickness came upon this area just before you were born. Your father was one of the first to fall.
With all your power, the two of you, you could not save him?
Lilith was a gifted healer, but this was no ordinary plague. The corruption went beyond his physical body. In the end, there was nothing we could do.
What did Lilith do?
She did what anyone would have done. She grieved. But in her grief, she lost herself, and her grief turned into anger.
Is that when you took me from her?
It wasn't long after that. Things started to fall apart before my eyes. I couldn't see another way out but to run.
The plague that turned her into the mother of demons?
No, this was something else, but cut from the same cloth. Your mother was no longer the woman I knew. The sister I had fought alongside for centuries. She was gone.
I've never heard you talk this way before, Sarah.
It's hard to walk the grounds here without churning up so many old memories. Maybe now you understand why I don't venture out here that often anymore.
You were not affected by the plague?
We were all affected, whether we were among the sick or not. I'm sure there was a time when your mother and I both would have just as soon joined the dead than continue to watch the villagers suffer.
I cannot imagine you ever reaching that point.
Lilith may have been the most skilled herbalist in the New World. I saw her perform near miracles with the potions she concocted from the plants in her garden. She was consumed by the idea of finding a cure.
But she never found one.
No, despite her efforts, nothing ever worked.
I can see how that would be a dark time for both of you.
With darker times still to come.
Thank you, Sarah. Your timing may need work, but I appreciate the honesty.
Anything for you, Hunter. Anything.
If only it were always this easy to bring a family together. Tell me about my father.
Believe it or not, you can thank your father for those good looks of yours. There is a striking resemblance.
I only have the faintest memory of him. What was he like?
He was honest, a working man, you could say, authentic. Of course, I still didn't like him, but that wasn't really his fault. I'm old enough to admit that now.
But he loved my mother?
He loved her, and she was smitten with him. As the story goes, they were happy together. For a time.
Until I came along?
You were an unexpected gift, but a welcome one. Your father was very proud.
I wish I could talk with him now.
I know that feeling all too well, kiddo.
I see you found one of the elemental rods. If you'd like to keep going, you may keep searching for more. I see you found another of our mystic landmarks. These are the Standing Stones. Your ancestors among the blood used them to converse with the Elder Gods.
How does that work?
Members of the blood would gather among the stones and enter a sort of meditative trance. They say the gods would hear their thoughts, but the blood never knew for sure who was listening on the other end. Some of the older texts refer to a series of glyphs etched on the stones, but at first glance they seem to have been scoured clean by time itself.
Could they still be revealed somehow?
You read my mind, Hunter. I suspect the glyphs are still here. They just need the right words of encouragement, if you catch my meaning. Hunter?
You said something earlier about the blood.
In a world full of mysteries, the blood have managed to remain even more mysterious than most. They were an ancient race, said to be born of the Elder Gods. As I understand it, they were very strict about maintaining their bloodline. That's probably why you don't hear about them very often. And yet, here you are, one of their direct descendants.
Are there others?
It's quite possible. But even if there are, they might not even know it themselves. Somehow, I take comfort in that.
What they do not know cannot hurt them.
Indeed.
After our last battle, what happened to Lilith?
You were in the woods. You and your mother obviously came to blows. But we found no wounds, no evidence of what happened at all. A silent, deathly embrace between mother and child. We had hoped you would both find peace in the next life.
But she is not buried here.
No. We entrusted her to the Knights of Wondergore, the ancient protectors of your ancestral homeland in Transia. I don't think they ever expected to contend with an organization like Hydra, and I doubt Lilith spared any who survived her reawakening.
What would Wanda want with your altar?
What can I say? Some people have a curious, adventurous itch that just has to be scratched. I was one of them, and so was Wanda. Caretaker, not so much, but I see it again in you, Hunter.
So you encouraged her exploration?
Of course. Why wouldn't I? What good is being as powerful as we are if we're just going to spend all our time cooped up within these walls? What's the worst that could happen? You got me there, dear.
What do you know about the moon seals?
Presumably forged by the gods themselves, I like to think of a moon seal as both a lock and a key. With the right power, wielded by the right person, the energy of the seal is unleashed, creating a conduit to the Elder Gods.
And I am that right person.
Just another benefit of being descended from the blood. Lucky you, dear.
Where did the words of power come from?
While I often call them blessings or gifts of the old gods, the words of power are actually powerful invocations tuned to the unique energies found in descendants of the blood.
And Caretaker used the words as well.
Of course, dear. Sarah used the words of power on the Abbey grounds just as you do today. Many of the areas you encounter that seem receptive to these spells are actually the result of Sarah's frequent undertakings. closer. I want to get a better look at you. After all these years, it is good to see your face again.
Wish I could say the same, Mother. Now enough with this deception and reveal your true form.
But this is my true form. The way I was when you were just a sweet, helpless little baby. You don't remember that, do you? Well, I do. Bringing you into the world was the happiest time in my life.
And taking you out of this world again will be mine.
I had thought the words of power would open your eyes. But I should have known my sister and her pet witch would continue to withhold the truth from you.
Is this a dream?
Yes and no. We are connected, you and I. Ever since the day you...
Wait! Mother! Where did you... Was that really her? Come along, Charlie. What is it, Charlie? Find something?
A successful collaboration.
We are finally getting some decent tech down here. How's it going, boss? No problem. What do you think?
Always a pleasure.
Hey, can I ask a favor? Thanks, Hunter.
I'm ready when you are. Just remember the most important thing. There are no rules.
Hey, Hunter. When you've got a minute, could you meet me in the war room? The intel cache we recovered from Hydra's gunship might seem sophisticated to the casual bystander, but they probably weren't expecting to go up against the likes of me. With Central's help, I can decrypt these babies in no time, providing us a valuable and fascinating glimpse into Hydra's twisted little minds. Hey, Hunter. Okay, Central, work your magic. Just more evil junk. Now that we've decrypted the intel, let's put what we've learned to good use. Check out the available hero ops listed on Central. Bye.
Well, don't leave me in suspense. How are you enjoying the library?
I thought we were past that.
We are, but I'm still allowed to be annoyed with you. I expect a bit of pushback from the others, but not from you, Hunter.
Why not? When have I ever made things easy for you?
You had your moments, few and far between, but that's exactly my point. You know what that place, what she meant to me, and you did it anyway.
The world is at risk of being consumed by Lilith. We cannot afford to leave any stone unturned, even if it means upsetting you.
It's not my feelings I'm worried about. The last time I gave someone free rein at the library, it cost us dearly. I'm not sure we can handle any more unexpected calamities around here.
At least we are talking now. Silence between us would only make things worse.
You're right about that. We have bigger things to worry about. Like the mouthy alien tormenting Spider-Man as we speak.
He did risk himself for us without hesitation. We owe him for that, at least.
For once, I think the entire team is in agreement. It's only a matter of tracking Venom down.
I would just follow the trail of destruction, but maybe there is another way.
I'm sure we'll come up with something. Don't leave poor Spider-Man waiting too long now.
Hunter, my second favorite zombie superhero.
Who is your first?
Tony, on 2 hours of sleep. So, what do you need?
I have questions for you.
Sure, ask away.
Tell me about yourself, Carol.
What in particular?
Who were you before you became Captain Marvel?
Air Force pilot. I used to fly the unfriendly skies before I was attached to the space program. And back then, I was entirely human.
You are not entirely human?
Not since I uncovered actual, for real aliens. There was an accident with some alien tech that rewrote my DNA, and now I'm half Kree.
I have never heard of the Kree.
Neither had I. They have a space empire. It's crazy to think they've been around far longer than you've been alive.
How did Carol Danvers become Captain Marvel?
During my time with the space program, I found myself involved in a conflict between alien species, Kree and Skrulls. I got too close to a device called the Psyche Magnetron, and it completely altered me. A Kree soldier known as Mar-Vell felt responsible for what happened and took me under his wing. He was a hero in his own right, and we fought beside each other for years. He's gone now, but I took the name Captain Marvel as a tribute to what he stood for. Since then, I've made the name my own.
Your strength is hard for me to fathom.
With all this gamma weirdness keeping Banner in banner form, I'm Earth's mightiest Avenger. Once Thor realized the Hulk was in a class of his own, he was not happy to be in third place. He still challenges me to arm wrestling contests, and loses. He's much less salty since I started calling him Asgard's mightiest Avenger.
How powerful would you say you are?
When someone says we need to call in the big guns, they're talking about me. Just don't say it in front of Bruce. The Hulk is an order of magnitude stronger, no question. But he doesn't have my precision, patience, or reliability. At least, that's how Bruce put it.
That much power. And it does not seem to have gone to your head.
I do get cocky sometimes, but I don't take any of this for granted. And I always remember where I came from. Arrogance is like punching the afterburner with your wheels down.
Tell me about the Avengers.
Sure, what about us?
How long have you been an Avenger?
Over a decade. Still hard to believe. We've been so busy dealing with one crisis or another, it's hard to mark the time. My coffee tally puts me just shy of 20,000, excluding the cups I forgot to track.
What are your thoughts on your fellow Avengers?
I'm with the team for a reason. I believe in what we do. All of us do. I'm sure you've noticed Tony can be abrasive, but I never doubt his commitment. He and Banner used to fight like cats in a sack. Thankfully, they seem to be past that. And I can't think of anyone better to deal with a mystical enemy than Doctor Strange. He's a little out of sorts right now, what with being pushed out of his home, but he'll adjust.
Do you think your team can find common ground with the Midnight Suns?
Look, I try not to get involved in team politics. I'll work with anyone who gets the job done. I don't care what team they're from.
Do all the Avengers feel the same?
No comment.
Thank you, Carol.
Anytime. And hey, if you find the time, we should hang out.
I will consider that.
Of course.
Hydra forces in this area are causing trouble. Let's take them down.
Our goals align.
Hail that! Let's do it! Even the best get better. Get ready.
That'll work.
It's on. Give the mother my regards in hell.
Prepare yourself.
Leave some for the rest of us.
Excellent work.
Hunter, I was just looking for you. We need your assistance.
Who is we?
The Esoteric Mystical Order, specifically the Knights of Intellect and Dimensional Spiritualism.
That is an elaborate name.
You can blame Doctor Strange. Oh, I may have rearranged a few words so it spells out emo kids.
Tell me what you need.
Doctor Strange Magic and I are researching a crucial moment in your past, but it's probably better if we just show you. How about it? Ready to uncover one of the greatest mysteries about your life after death?
Lead the way.
Let's do it! So, about the spell that brought you back to life, it worked better than expected, but there are some gaps.
You are talking about my death.
Exactly. The memories of your final moments might tell us how you defeated your mother 3 centuries ago. That could give us an edge this time around.
Those memories are lost.
Maybe not. We think there's a way to recover them. All you're gonna need is a mystical jumpstart.
How would that work?
Doctor Strange can explain it better than I, but if you want the abridged version, ask Magic. And when you're ready to begin the ritual, let me know.
Hunter, I'm glad you're present for the inaugural meeting.
Of what, exactly?
Why, the Knights of Intellect and Dimensional Spiritualism, the Abbey's local chapter of the Esoteric Mystical Order.
Right, emo kids. So, the ritual?
Regarding your resurrection, we had to meticulously reunite your corpus or physical vessel with your animus or spiritual essence.
How does this relate to the ritual?
Animating your corpus was the easy part, but your essence, your thoughts, hopes, fears, and dreams, that was the slipperiest eel.
Does the ritual require eels?
But now, with the plenary potential of Miss Minoru's Staff of One to focus Miss Rasputin's enigmatic energies, I, Doctor Strange,
The ritual?
the Sorcerer Supreme, shall pluck from unreality your mislaid memory, thought lost to time and death. I shall stare those cosmic forces in their many eyes and shout, nay!
Doctor Strange, the ritual. How does it work?
Didn't I just explain? I could start with the fundamental underpinnings of the multiverse theory if it would help.
Just tell me what to expect.
Ah, yes. You will focus on recalling what was lost as we do everything in our power to restore it. Simple, really.
Yes?
How does this ritual work?
This is the ritual. You focus on the past, Nico zaps you with her staff, Strange chants and waggles his fingers, then you remember. Maybe.
So why are you here?
Should the zapping, chanting, and waggling go bad, I will open a portal to Limbo and push you inside before the explosion.
There is a chance I might explode.
A very small chance. Unlikely.
Does Strange have any other details about the ritual?
Ha! Far too many.
How concerned should I be about exploding?
Slightly more than usual.
That is all I need to know.
Tell Nico, and don't explode. Boom! A little joke. Tiny. Like your chance to explode.
The first part's easy. I need you to focus on your last memories before you fought Lilith.
Will this help me remember?
I can't answer that. When I start, you'll be the one making the repairs. The rest of us are here to keep you steady.
All right.
If you're ready, we can begin.
I am ready.
Now, Hunter, tell us what you see.
I raced through the Abbey grounds. Angry. Terrified. It is too late. We were not ready. My foot slips, but I catch myself. I run with my blades exposed. I am completely alone. The moonlight guides my path. My lungs ache. My heart pounds. I rush toward my doom. I cannot. No!
Whoa! We all saw that, right?
I have no words to describe it.
Finally.
Well, how about that? Your final moments are there, just buried deep inside.
It did not work.
Not yet, but we made progress. I'm sure we can figure out a way for you to remember more the next time.
Next time?
Heck yeah! Emo kids meet every lunar alignment, or, you know, whenever we're free on a slow night. Oh, and we need ingredients. Magic will send a list to your spark. If you bring enough, we can refine them into more useful mystical objects. We're done for today, but I'll be in touch about the next meeting. Catch you later.
Who did you want me to meet?
Hunter of the Abbey, may I formally introduce you to the Hell Ride. I always like to show her to all my friends and just realized that we've been so busy beating back your mom's forces, I haven't had a chance to give you an up-close look at her. Gorgeous, right? Even without the extra hell sauce, she's a beast.
She is magnificent, Robbie. I would very much like to take her for a ride one day.
Oh, man, that's a big no-no from Caretaker. You see, the Hell Ride isn't just a demon on the highway, it's literally a demon. I've tried to convince Caretaker that I've got it under control. But I mean, you see the way everyone treats me. Sometimes I feel more like invisible by day, rattling chains by night. Know what I mean?
You are not a ghost to me, Robbie.
Maybe not. But I have a feeling the two of us are gonna haunt the armies of Lilith anyway.
My lucky day, huh? Let's do it.
Hey, can I ask a favor? Ah, thanks, Hunter.
I could not have predicted this outcome, but it is intriguing. Please tell me it's not another one. A simple object, though certainly not useless.
Hey, Hunter. Just give me a minute. Take your pick, Hunter.
Farewell.
Everything by the numbers. Bye. Wanna go again? I can always go again.
Your flying is incredible.
If you think I'm cool, thank the people who trained me.
You've been doing well out there, kiddo. And you're making an impression on your teammates. Make sure you let them know how you feel about their efforts, too. They'll appreciate a kind word from the legendary Hunter.
Hunter?
Ileana.
What? Oh, sorry. I was off somewhere else, thinking about my brother.
You have a brother?
Yes, Piotr. He's older, very protective. He wanted to come here with me, but no. This part of my life isn't for him.
It is nice that he cares so much.
You'd think so, but this is more about his guilt than my safety. Piotr blames himself for not protecting me in the past. Now he sees me as some fragile bird.
That is not fair to you. You are one of the Midnight Suns, and a formidable one at that. He must see that you can protect yourself.
You don't know Piotr. To say he's immovable would be an understatement. Anyway. Thank you for talking. It is good to get out of my mind once in a while.
I have something for you.
Oh?
Here you are.
Good. I don't know where to put this. That is Nico's problem now.